Hey guys, it's all around Danny, and this is a video showing you guys how to multiply matrices. So when it comes to multiplying matrices, we have to make sure that the columns of the first matrix equals the rows of the second matrix. So let's draw a matrix here. So right here, this is a 3 by 2 matrix. In order to multiply this, 1, negative 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, we can in fact see that these are the columns of the first matrix equals the rows of the second matrix. Or if we write it out like this, we can just say the two inside numbers. Now, our resulting matrix, our product matrix, would end up being the dimensions that we see here on the outside, which is 3 by 3. Or if you want to get technical, the rows of the first matrix times the number of columns of the second matrix. So as you can see, multiplying matrices is not the same thing as adding. We don't have to make sure that the dimensions are exactly the same, but there are some specifications. So we're going to go ahead and multiply these matrices. So I'm going to give myself some room. And one thing you have to keep in mind when you're multiplying matrices is that multiplying matrices is not commutative, meaning that you cannot just switch around the order. Well, this isn't really a good example because if we switch the order, this will still be able to be multiplied. But let's say we have some dimensions here. This is a 1 times 2, and then we have one that's 2 times 3. If we switch it around, we can in fact see that this is being able to be multiplied, while this is not. So you have to watch out when you're writing out your matrices and multiplying them. My suggestion would be just to write out the dimensions and make sure that the inside numbers are the same as I just showed you. Alright, so getting right to multiplying them, what you have to do is, it's quite a long process, but it's easy if you know the steps. So the first thing you do, first of all, give yourself a lot of room because it is a lengthy process. I'm going to divide it up into different sections to make it easier to see. Okay, so what we do, we multiply the first element of the first row of the first matrix times the first element of the first column of the second matrix. So this will be 2 times 1, and then we add, then we put a plus sign, and then we simply move across the row. So we're going to the right, and then we move down the column. It's going down. So now we're multiplying 4 with 2. 4 times 2. And now when we move down to get this number, we simply reset up in the first matrix. We reset back to our number 2, and then we simply move down the column, and instead of doing 2 times 1, we do 2 times negative 1, and then 4 times 5. So let's go ahead and do that. 2 times negative 1 plus 4 times 5. And then we do the same thing for the last, for the upper right hand number. So now we do 2 times 6 plus 4 times 7. Now we're simply going to repeat this for all the other numbers, just moving down the rows this time of the first matrix. So now we're going to do 1 times 1. I'm going to stop circling them just because it's getting a little messy. And then we move down the row, 5, and move down the column, 5 times 2. Actually, I'm going to circle them 5 times 2. Then we do 1 times negative 1 plus 5 times 5. Then we're going to do 1 times 6. Let me circle it. 1 times 6. And then move once again down the row and the column, 5 times 7. Now finally we're going to get to the last row here. So we're going to do 3 times 1 and 2 times 2. 3 times 1 plus 2 times 2. Then we're going to do 3 times negative 1. 3 times negative 1 plus 2 times 5. And then finally we're going to do 3 times 6 plus 2 times 7. So as you can see, all we simply did here was move down the rows and the columns at a time. And if you keep track of your numbers really well, this shouldn't be a problem. You can see it's very lengthy, but it really comes down just to simple multiplication and addition. So I'm going to give myself some room, so I'm going to delete the original matrix. You guys should write it down. And we're going to simplify this matrix. Alright, just a little arrow, and then we would get, let's see here, we would get 2 plus 8, then we get negative 2 plus 20, and we get 12 plus 28. This is really messy, let me revise this. 12 plus 28. Let's see here, 1 plus 10, negative 1 plus 25, 6 plus 35, 3 plus 4, negative 3 plus 10, and then 18 plus 14. Let me fix that. Alright, so now our final matrix, our simplified matrix, would be 10, 11, 7, 18, 24, 7, 32, 41, 40. And this right here would be our final answer. So that's really it when it comes to multiplying matrices, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.